Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another Historic Brawl gameplay video, and today's day one of our Magicmas Historic Brawl run. We're going to be doing these for the next 2 weeks, and first up we are playing Yarok the Desecrated, but please leave me a comment down below if there's any particular commander you would like to see me play, and one of the aims of this is to play commanders that aren't necessarily from the latest set. When I play Brawl, I always generally like to play commanders from the latest set or few sets, just to see how they hold up. But, you know, I want to take this time to play older commanders or popular commanders that, you know, have been around for a while. And that's why today we're playing Yarok the Desecrated. Who is Yarok? Yarok is a 5 mana Sultai commander. He's a 3/5 Death Touch lifelink. And it has... If a permanent entering causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control trigger, it ability triggers an additional time. So basically, it's a panharmonicon for any permanent entering. Which is obviously really, really powerful. A lot of creatures or permanents have ETB triggers, and this doubles them up. And obviously we do have panharmonicon as well to get additional triggers for artifacts and creatures. So, as always, I'll split the deck into different sections. So the first 2 sections are essentially enters triggers, but the second one is specifically landfall. The first one is triggers that aren't necessarily landfall, well, they aren't landfall but give us value, and they might be like draw a card like Baleful Strix and Wall of Blossom, and up the Beanstalk. Oracle of the Alpha puts the power 9 into our deck, and we can obviously double that up. Fierce Empath gets a big creature, Rex Sage destroys an artifact or enchantment, Topi Somber gets a land, Risen Reef gets a land or draws as a card, Uro draws as a card and lets us ramp. Removal, draw, get a card back from our graveyard, removal or counterspell, removal, Hodge Staker. It is powerful if the opponent doesn't have removal, but if it's removed, they get the artifact or creature back unless you obviously play it. Solemn Simulacrum lets us ramp. Mold Drifter lets us draw cards, and obviously with Yarok, we draw 4. Mind Flag steals a creature off our opponent, like Hodge Staker, but we don't have to then spend mana to cast it. Acidic Slime, removal for artifact enchantments or lands, doubling that up and destroying their lands is quite powerful. Overlord the Hauntswood is ramp. Noxious Gear Hulk is removal, and we gain life equal to the creature's toughness. Massacre Worm is a one-sided board wipe, and you know we get this down late. A lot of our creatures may not have, might have more than 2 toughness, but if they have less than 4, with Yarok down, it's going to wipe their board. And if we have Panharmonicon as well, it basically gives everything -6/-6. Kogla fights something when it enters. Vaultborn Tyrant just draws the card and gains their life, and Great Hooper Behemoth obviously is a finisher, pumping our entire board. And next up we just have the landfall cards, which you would have seen in various other decks I've played, but one I do want to focus on is Scythecat Cub. It's from Jumpstart 25, which came out at the same time as Flotations. It's a bit like Bristly Bill. We don't have Bristly Bill in the deck. I think Scythecat Club's a bit better. So 2 mana 2/2 trample, and it says landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If it's the second time this bit is triggered, it's resolved this turn, double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature instead. So if we play this and then play a land, we can make this a 3/3 or put a counter on someone else. If that land's a fetch land and we crack it and we get a second land, we'll double those counters. So at the side it's going to double from 1 to 2, but then if we have 2 it doubles to 4, 8. It's a bit like Mossborn Hydra in the way it can grow very big, and obviously with Yarok down that trigger doubles up no matter what. Next up we have Ramp. Yarok is a 5 mana commander, so we want to get there as quickly as possible. So we have the usual suspects: Birds of Paradise, Delighted Halfling, Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, Utopias Brawl, Explore, Tangle Florahedron, Growth Spiral, Arcane Signet, Coastal Heart, Cultivate, and Wake of Legends. Next up we just have some protection / interaction. Malakir Rebirth lets us get a creature back if it dies. It pays a land. Same with Revitalizing Repast. It can give a creature indestructible. Cyclonic Rift about a board, bounce our entire opponent's board, or 1 creature if we need to. Mana Drain to counter. Swiftfoot Boots for haste and protection, and Sink into Stupor to bounce a non-land permanent or a opponent spell. And next up we have removal. Bridgeworks Battle can cause our creature to fight another creature or be a land. Fail to Profane is just the removal for creatures of planeswalkers, and he can play as a land. Binding of Allgood destroys any non-land permanent on a saga, then lets us ramp. Death Sprout, it's quite expensive for removal, but it destroys a creature and then lets us ramp as well. And then Casualties War, if you're playing black and green, you're probably playing Casualties War. It is just so powerful. And then finally we just have some other good stuff. Ristic Study, Thassa. We have a lot of things with ETBs. Thassa lets us flicker those every turn. Panharmonicon, as I said, to get additional triggers from artifacts or creatures. Time Warp, take an extra turn, we're playing blue, let's play Time Walk. Muldrover to play lands from our graveyard or a permanent spell of each type. We don't have a huge amount of permanents, just mainly creatures and a couple of artifacts and a few enchantments. But once we've got a fetch land in the graveyard, Muldrover is really powerful because obviously it lets us get basically 2 landfall triggers a turn, which obviously doubles up to 4 with Yarok. Emergent Ultimatum just lets us get whatever, well, 3 single monocolored cards we choose. Our opponent chooses 1 that goes into our library. We cast the other 2 without paying their mana cost. And then the Great Henge often comes down reasonably cheaply, lets us draw cards, gains its life, and buffs our creatures. Mana base is as you would expect for a 3-coloured deck. Lots of dual lands, lots of fetch lands, lots of all the regular surveil lands as well. So that's the deck. Yarok is surprisingly powerful. ETBs are hugely powerful. You know, we played Tati over a few weeks ago, and I struggled with the deck because I couldn't really build it right. This is basically Tati over plus we have Tati over in the deck, but it just abused ETB triggers. Being able to like double up removal with Ravenous Chupacabra or double up ramp with Solemn Simulacrum or Topiary Stomper, and then unlike, you know, where Tati over is a 5 mana 3/3, Yarok is a 5 mana 3/5 Death Touch lifelink, so it is a threat by itself, and it can, you know, gain its life and kill any creature our opponent wants. And because of the nature of the deck, there are games we win without actually playing Yarok, or you know, we play Yarok as the finisher. The weakness to it is, like a lot of decks that get value, where your commander gives you additional value from something else, you want to try and get that value return. You play Yarok. That is harder because it's 5 mana. You know, you might want to wait until you have 7 mana so you can play Yarok, and then play a 2 mana of something that gives you, you know, value. But it depends on the deck you're playing. Sometimes you may just go, well, it's mono green, probably going to be okay playing it out, and then waiting next turn to get that additional value. But also, by the time you have your Yarok, you might have one of your landfall creatures down, then you play a land, maybe it's a fetch land, and get 4 triggers. You know, 4 Scroot Swarm triggers is absolutely bonkers. So it is really powerful that way. So I really, really enjoy this deck, and I hope I'm going to enjoy playing some of the more popular, not necessarily new commanders. Next up, we'll be playing Pantlaza, so tune in on Tuesday if you want to see that. And I'm undecided on the next one after that yet. So again, please leave comments below on the commanders you would like to see. But I hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. We go first with a pretty good hand. Let's just get a forest for our Elvish Mystic. And turn 2 we can Lotus Cobra and Baleful Strix. Same as. We'll do black, and we will crack it straight away to get actually, you know what, we'll play Risen Reef. Put this on green. And next turn we can play Yarok. Go black. And then we'll get Breeding Pool, shock it in. We'll go blue. Get double Risen Reef triggers. Might as well swing in. Annoying we didn't hit that land with any of our Risen Roof triggers. We can just bind in the old gods it. Get a couple more triggers. We'll put it on green and blue. Yeah, I like Mole Drifter. We'll go blue, blue. Doesn't really matter. There's nothing we can actually do. They do have access to quite a lot of mana, but again, so do we. They're coming to play tapped, so we may as well just get a Triome. Let's go double blue for Mole Drifter. Can we Great Henge and Mole Drifter? So we need 6. So we need 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we should be fine. Or Great Henge first. In fact, no, we have already paid a land. It's an elemental as well. Well, that's one way to do it. Why can't we... Oh. We can't sacrifice our land. Well. We can now. Yeah, our last island. We're not going to be able to generate enough to play Time Warp this turn, so let's just wreck Sage. Take out their vigorous farming. Draw a couple of cards. Attack with Yarok. that's kind of annoying. But not the end of the world. We need to discard 5 cards. I don't think we need card draw. I mean, we can just... We just flicker our Rex Age. We surveil, don't need more lands. A lot. Don't really need that. Let's play this on blue. Play Time Warp. Play out Arcane Signet. And how big was our Mossborn Hydra? It's 24-24. Next turn it's going to be almost 100. So I think we probably just had lethal. Opponent goes first, but we have removal and quite a bit of ramp. We can surveil turn 1. Wonder what they take. There's the Lotus Cobra. Fine. Problem is, it's easy to remove, especially for black-red. Let's get an overgrown tomb. Next turn we probably just cultivate. Especially if they take out Arcane Signet. That has Menace. Do we Hostage Taker it? It's only treasure. Or we can Death Sprout it. I think we Death Sprout it. We want to get a Watery Grave, I think. And this way it does rampers. We'll just get Forest for now. Well, it probably won't last for a shoot amount of time. But obviously if it does last for another turn, we can play it. Yeah, there it goes. I think. Maybe they're just reading it. Oh, there we go. Let's surveil. That's good because that can take care of Sheoldred. We do have 7 mana next turn. We do have 6 mana next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can do this. Get a swamp. Let's get a swamp on an island. Island will go into play. Swamp will go into hand. And next turn we can Risen Reef and Yarok. And let's Yarok, which is an elemental, so it triggers Risen Reef twice. We surveil twice. It can't destroy their commander. Definitely keep that. I want to keep that. Let's hope Yarok survives. They've only got 2 cards in hand. 1 card in hand. No cards in hand. Because now we trigger Vaultborn Tyrant twice. And yeah, our opponent scoops up. We gain 6, draw 2, and then we have 3 mana left over. So we might be able to play something else. And next turn we get down Muldrotha, which is also an elemental, which would trigger Risen Reef. And yeah, just run away with it. Well, I'd really like to go first. Yeah, well, Verdant Catacombs. Get, I think, Overgrown Tomb. Next turn we can get down Relic of Legends. We can get down Yarok if we need to. Or maybe we just Scoot Swarm. I think we get down Yarok. And that way, if we can get down Scoot Swarm, we can double up the triggers. Nuts. Well, let us Scoot Swarm and start creating some tokens. I think we can just surveil. Can we recast Yarok? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do need another land to be able to do that. There's no point blocking because they can just get something back with Alicia. We've only got one, so one card in hand. So let's hope that it's not removal for Yarok. One, 2, 5, 7. We'll do it like that. We're going to have to end up discarding our Solemn Simulacrum. I would really like a land. Or that'll do. I thought they had something like Not Dead After All. They messed up. They clicked back to the command zone. I have done things like that with commanders that leave the battlefield for whatever reason, and yeah, it's annoying when it happens. Next turn, even if we would have attacked, gain some life back, and next turn we could Kogler and fight a couple of things. Up against my favourite commander. Oh, we are on the play, and Casualties of War can take care of Pock, although probably not massively quickly. I think we'll surveil turn 1. Not Overgrown Tomb, Underground Mortuary. Let's play us on green and play out the Signet. Next turn, maybe we just evoke the Mole Drifter. Or do we play out the Fierce? Let's play out the Fierce Empath. And I think we want to get Noxious Gear Hulk, because that can just act as removal, obviously. Next turn we can Yarok. Shocking our breeding pool. Won't bother attacking. Problem is they're going to be able to replay whatever they can. But I think the Mossborn Hydra, they should have cracked one of those Verdant Catacombs on their turn. We can even play the boots and put them on the Hydra, which means we do need an untapped land to do that. So if we need to, we can block with Yarok, because he's got Death Touch. They would need to take out the boots and the Hydra. Or have a... No, there's no mono green board wipes. Only ones that destroy all creatures with flying. And our opponent has a lot of mana. But if we get another attack in, well, if we get draw another land, I think it's almost guaranteed they'll be dead. They'll be what? It'll be a 64/64 just with one land. That is one way to do it. Wow, they didn't want to put. They could have put, well, any creature, all creatures. So odd. But yeah, if we drew a land, it would have been a 64/64. If it was a fetch land, it would have gone up to what? 256. So yeah, pretty guaranteed lethal. Opponent goes first, which isn't great, but we could turn 1 Elvish Mystic, turn 2 Scythe Cat, and then fetch land. Like more land. Well, let's Scythe Cat. It doesn't make a difference cracking Verdant Catacombs now or on their turn, just because obviously doubling the counters would double from 1 to 2 anyway. Let's get a Triome. Or we can cast Uro. Hopefully he draws us into a land. No, we can't cast Uro. Hardly the most impactful thing to destroy. Yes, I got the wrong... well... Shouldn't have kept Uro. That was a mistake. Well, I think then we play out the tracker. Crack this now and get a hedge maze. Don't need land or elves. So they can play out Vorinclex. They have their own tireless tracker. Oh. And then we play out the Verge. And then, yeah, I think I'll just crack a clue in their turn. That's a chunky boy. But basically we can play Muldrotha. Yeah, an opponent skips it up. We just play Muldrotha on, which I think we have enough mana to do. Yeah, we definitely do. Play Muldrotha, play one of our fetch lands from our graveyard, and pump our Scythe Cat club up to, will be 15 counters. Double at 30, 32, 32. Yeah, so more than enough for lethal. We go first. Oh, quite a bit of ramp. We can turn to Topiary Stomper, hopefully. Let's get Overgrown Tomb. So next turn we can bind in the old gods if they play something. An untapped land lets us Yarok. Well, the fact that they fine. If they're just going to hold up a counter spell. Well, let's bind in, or attempt to, take out their search for a Scanter. They didn't have a counter spell then. It might be a wash away. Play this on black. Can now attack with our Stomper. Oh. Wash away? No. We do draw two. So I think we're definitely attacking. We have quite a lot of mana. Where's all our bloody lands? We'll pitch the Lotus Cobra for now. They have their own Muldrotha. But what we do, we'll crack this. Panharmonicon. Doesn't really matter. Panharmonicon. And then Crater Hoof Behemoth, which triggers 3 times? Oh, I wanted to see it. We would have got plus 15, I think. Yeah, because we would have got, yeah, plus 5. 3 times. Once from Crater Hoof, once from Yarok, and then once from Panharmonicon.